back, everyone. Welcome back to Unlike Other Nations. I'm Father Tom Coys. And John, we're doing something a little different this morning. This is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about things that we're thankful for.
Well, all you are gathered around the TV set watching football.
We're grateful for being a part of this world, the life we have, your family, your church, your faith. And I mentioned I'm thankful for my priesthood. And we're talking a bit about being a priest today.
Mm-hmm. And we noted that you've been a priest for 25 years, Father Tom. I'd like to know, how has life as a priest measured up to your expectations? Say, when you first took your vows at your ordination, you must have had a certain picture in your mind of what the priestly life would be like. Has it been that? Has it been better? Has it been less?
You know, I don't know if I've told anybody this much, or might as well. It's a good question to ask, but I remember vividly at my ordination, there's a part of the ceremony where the bishops first and then all the rest of the priests who are present come up and put their hands on your head as you're kneeling there. And I remember trying to hold it back, but I started crying. And I didn't want anybody to see me, obviously, because my back was to the people. And my two uncles passed over, and they put their hands on my head. And I had a sense that I was going to be a heavy load was going to be put on my shoulders. I just had this sense. Mm-hmm. I think I understand a little bit more. I don't know exactly the fullness of it, but there has been great challenges, but I've never lost the sense that my Lord is with me there somehow.
Some people say the priesthood could be a lonely life. You don't take a spouse. You're pretty much a solo flyer in a great sense.
Exactly.
And you find the closeness in the Lord.
It has to be
it's found. It's a strength for you.
You can also get really lost in your family, which is the parish and the church. Mm-hmm. And that's a great, great help. Mm-hmm. Much like parents who have put their relationship on hold to take care of their kids. Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of parents have that sense of there's not enough time for me and my spouse because I'm loaded with all the time taking care of the kids. Mm-hmm. And that is a sense. And that's a danger in the priesthood. You can take care of the parish and forget about taking care of your relationship with our Lord in your own prayer life. Times that I've drifted away and felt weaker are the times when I haven't maintained a strong enough prayer. Times when I'm more committed to prayer, I felt less of that sense of alienation or loneliness.
I think a lot of us Catholics are aware of the shortage of priests in this country. There's not as many young men in the seminary as there used to be, for one reason or another. What do you tell young men who may come up to you and say, "Father, I think I might have a calling to the priesthood"?
I automatically say, let's get together for lunch, because I want them to know how important that I want to take time out for them. And I know people always say, well, you're so busy. But if anyone out there listening may have that inspiration, don't be afraid to talk to a priest about that, because we all know that it's so important that we will take time out. I don't like to make it too rosy for young guys. I don't like to win them over with how easy and fun the priesthood's going to be.
Certainly the priesthood is not a bed of roses. I mean, it's not.
Right.
It's a difficult calling.
Yeah. And yet it is a lot of fun, and it is a great life. And if I didn't have that sense when I was young that this is a great life, I wouldn't have gone for it. Sure. What I like to tell people is when I was young, I got really enthralled in doing a lot of church stuff, going to retreats, being a part of church groups and everything. And when we go to meetings and go to retreats, I think, gosh, this is one of some of my best moments of my day or my week. And if I became a priest, I can do this for my whole life and get paid for it. And people have to do this. They do this on their part-time and volunteer basis. So I'm gonna go for the whole enchilada and take it on. So one thing led to another.
I'd like to ask you how as we as Catholic lay people could foster more priests, the priestly vocations in young people.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, this might sound a little strange, but being involved in the right to life is so crucial. And the reason I say that is because being involved to the right to life is about accepting children that may be quote unquote unwanted. You have to be generous to put your own needs to the side to serve others. Even so much, I dare to say, to foster a non-contraceptive mentality and lifestyle, because that openness to life, especially in relationship to those who practice natural family planning, have the sense, they understand what saying no to a sexual relationship at this moment is part of love. It's not an I don't love you, but it's I love God in a way that oversees or supersedes what I may want right now at this moment. So those who have this chastity spirit will understand that priesthood, the Catholic priesthood, especially because we don't marry, is a proclamation of you. It's using our life, as John Paul II says in his Theology of the Body, it's using your body in the sense of utilitarian. We don't use our bodies, we are our bodies, but in this sense, as a husband and a wife use their bodies to show love to one another. God gave us these bodies, and I give you my body in marriage. There's a parallel of using your body as an abstaining. I can't show the glory, or I can't show the kind of love that is abstinence if I don't have a body that's built for marriage. But by not using it for marriage, it's a kind of a self-sacrificial use of the body that can only happen when you say yes. Yeah, the way the Catholic Church.
When I talk to people, friends and colleagues and so forth, about the priesthood in this country today, they will often say, well, we'd have more priests if the church would allow them to marry.
Right. Or
if we had women priests, that would solve our shortage problem. How do you respond to that?
I think the first thing that's good to understand is there may be more ministers, but there would be less. There would be the priesthood itself would diminish. You can have someone. The ministry, the priesthood can't be reverted to a kind of function that I can do these things, and I could preach, I could say the Mass, I could do confessions, I could baptize if I had a wife and kids at home, but I myself would be a different type of person. The Catholic Church is especially trying to promote lay vocations and lay ministry today. That's a phrase that we didn't used to use years ago, but it's very much, and this is a point of unity between Catholics and evangelical Protestants. We all understand what having a ministry is all about. And as a matter of fact, this is what it's when I go around with some of my evangelical friends, some of my evangelical pastor friends, I would like to hire them in a lot of ways. Right in my church, I'd like to give them a job because they are great and wonderful lay ministers. They with their wives and their children, but they don't image the radical sacrificial life in regard to marriage. That celibacy shows.
Demands, yeah. And what about women priests? I mean, the last pope,
right?
Didn't he rule on that? And because there's no possibility of women priests,
right? And what I like to say is, I think I would be in favor of women priests as long as men can have babies. When men start having
That's gonna be a
babies,
trick.
then and the reason I say it that way is because it has something to do with the different natures, the distinctive natures, and motherhood is a part of femininity. Fatherhood, of course, is part of masculinity, but the kind of fatherhood that is reflected in the fatherhood of God is hard to see incarnated in a woman priest. It's rooted in the incarnation more than anything else, and that's one of the deepest mysteries.
Oh, I hear the music. Time always goes too fast.
It does indeed. John, thanks for this opportunity.
Very nice talking to you.
Indeed, perhaps we can continue more of these themes later. Let's pray for our country. You're listening to a show we call Unlike Other Nations. And indeed, we see you next week, my friend.
Thank you for listening to Unlike Other Nations with your hosts, the Coys brothers, John and Father Tom. If you see the need for programming such as this, please pray for this ministry and consider a financial gift. No amount is too small. Send your check to Immaculate Conception Parish, 2745 West 44th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60632. Make your checks out to Immaculate Conception. If you'd like to ask a question or would like prayer, send Father Coys an email at ftcoys@aol.com or John at coys2900@comcast.net. You can also listen to archived shows on YouTube by searching for Unlike Other Nations Radio. Help us keep Lincoln's hope alive. We have been and still remain the last best hope of mankind. Tune in next Sunday morning at 11:30 for another edition of Unlike Other Nations right here on AM 1160.